Hi guys, welcome to Little Moon Yoga. My name's Emily and today we're going to go through a beginner sequence. It's suitable for all levels really, but I've mainly designed this for beginners so that you can really ease yourself into the yoga practice and not strain or hurt yourself. We're going to do a full body stretch, work the legs, the core, the back. We're going to do the whole shebang to really open up the muscles, reduce body pain, stiffness that we tend to get. It's quite common these days, and just have fun with it really. So to begin with, we'll bring ourselves into the present moment. If you haven't already, roll out your mats and come down to sit with the legs crossed, or you can come onto the knees. You can sit like this, or you can prop yourself up on a nice cushion so that you can come down to the mat with me. And we'll place our hands either on the knees or together in the lap. And I invite you to close the eyes and bring the awareness inwards to your breath. We're just going to be aware of the natural rhythm. Just feeling the sensations of the breath in the body. How does your breath feel? Does it feel shallow, tight? Maybe it's flowing quite deeply. And ask yourself, whereabouts in the body is the breath flowing from? From the chest, the belly or the ribs. We're just being aware of the breath and all the sensations. We're not forcing it. We're just being present with it. If the mind wanders, gently bring your awareness back to the breath. Your thoughts are like passing clouds in the sky. We see them, we acknowledge them, and then we let them go. No forcing, no judgment. And then we can bring the hands together in prayer in front of the chest and bow the head down. And then gently bat the eyelids open and lift the head. Okay, so we'll get started and we'll start off warming up the body. So we'll come to stand at the top of our mat and we'll move through sun salutations A. So standing with the toes together, the heels can be together or a bit of space in between, that's completely up to you. We're going to pull the kneecaps up, engage those quads, tuck the tailbone down and pull the belly in. Open up the shoulders, open up the chest, bring the shoulders onto the back and slight tuck in that chin. Have the arms down by the side of the body. We'll just take a breath here. And inhaling, we'll take the arms out and up. Exhaling, bringing the arms down by the sides. Hinging forwards from the hip, bringing the belly to the thighs. We can have a generous bend in the knees and hands come down by the side of the feet. And then as we inhale, we'll come up onto the fingertips, lengthen the legs, straighten up those legs. We can come onto the shins if we can't quite touch the floor, or even onto the thighs. But keep those elbows hugging in and really lengthen through the spine and reach through the crown. Inhaling. Then exhaling, we'll place the hands back down onto the mat and step it back into a chaturanga. Now for beginners, we can bring the knees, chest and chin down to the mat. Or if you'd like to challenge yourself, we can do the full chaturanga, starting in plank, keeping those elbows hugging in, exhaling, bringing it down, to the mat. And inhaling, untucking the toes, lifting the chest and chin up into upward facing dog. Exhaling, tuck the back toes under, taking the pelvis back and up into a downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. Want to press through the fingers. Shoulders are pulling onto the back. Head hangs nicely, we're not holding in the neck. Lengthening through the spine. We don't want to be rounding. If we're rounding in the back, then we want to bend those knees to feel that stretch in the back. Really reach the heels down towards the mat. Press through the toes. Barely pulling in. And inhale, look between the hands. You can walk, step or jump the feet in between. Lifting up into a half lift. Exhaling, fold belly to thighs. And inhaling, taking the arms out and up. Back to standing. And exhale. Hands back down to the sides. So we'll start off with some stretches standing up. I'll turn to face you so you can see me. We'll take the feet hip width apart. We still want the knees pulling up and engaging the quads, pulling that belly in and tucking the tailbone down, opening the chest. And as we inhale, we're going to take the arms out and up, and we'll grab the left wrist with the right hands. I know you can't quite see me, but we want to grab the right hands with the left wrist, and exhale, we're going to take it over to the right and look under the arm, feeling a nice stretch down the left side of the body, making sure we're not collapsing in the chest. We want to be open. If we're collapsing, just come up a bit more and really reach through that left arm. And then exhale and come back to center. We'll switch the grip, so this time we'll grab the right wrist with the left hand, and exhaling, take it over to the left, looking under that right arm, reaching through the right arm, feeling that stretch down the right side of the body. And then exhale, back to center. We'll bring the hands down and we can interlace the fingers behind the back. We want to draw the elbows in towards each other and open up the chest. We have a slight bend in the knees here, so we can really open up that chest. We want to draw the hands down, the elbows coming together, core strong, ribs pull in, and exhale, we can release the hands. Shake those arms out. And then we'll bring the feet together. We're going to bring ourselves down to the mat. So inhaling, we'll take the arms out and up. Exhale, fold forwards, belly to thighs. And then inhaling, we're going to step it into plank. So for beginners, we can bring the knees down and cross the ankles, and we want to stay here. We don't want to drop in the pelvis or be pulling it back. We want the core engaged and extending nice long through the spine, or we can take it a bit further and do the full expression. Pressing through the fingertips, strong arms, strong core. Breathing deep. And then exhaling, bringing the knees down to the mat. We'll bring the pelvis to the heels, and then we can take it to the side and swing the feet round into a cross-legged position, or however the body allows. So we can prop ourselves up on a pillow to lift the hips up so that we can cross the legs a bit easier. We're just going to do some seated twists, easy seated twists. So we'll have the hands down by the side of the body. And then inhaling, we'll take the arms out and up. Look up. And then exhale, we're going to bring the left hand to the right knee. And the right hand comes back behind us. And we'll look and twist to the right. We want to keep the chest open. We're not collapsing in this back arm. The spine's nice and tall. Twists are great to release any pain and tension we have in the spine, especially the lower back. And then inhaling, arms come back up. Exhaling, bring the right hand to the left knee and the left hand comes back. Opening in the chest. And inhaling, bring the arms back up. Exhale, bringing the arms down. We're going to move into hero pose, which is another seated position. It can be quite intense on the knees. So for beginners, I suggest putting some pillows underneath the knees to protect your joints and prevent any pain. And I also suggest sitting up on a nice big cushion to lift up the hips. So what we do is we'll bring the left heel to the left hip and the right heel to the right hip. We want the knees coming together. Nice stretching in the legs. And breathe. We want to be sitting nice and tall, so this pillow is what will help us keep the spine nice and long and take the pressure off of those knees. But if we don't need the pillow, we can pop that aside, not a problem. And making sure we're sat on both sit bones. Find what feels good in this pose. If something doesn't feel right, I suggest you just come back out of it a little bit, apply those modifications, because you really don't want to hurt yourself. We're just going to add in an extra little stretch. So inhale, we're going to lift the right arm up, bend at the elbow and bring it behind the head. We'll take the left hand behind and try and touch the fingertips on the right hand. Maybe we can't quite reach, that's absolutely fine. We'll go as far as the body allows. You can always have a strap to hold behind to increase your stretch if you can't quite touch the fingers. Keeping the chest nice and open. And breathe. And exhaling, gently release, and we'll swap it round. So we'll bring the right hand behind and the left hand up and back. Reaching for the fingertips. Nice stretch in the triceps. Deep breaths. Remembering to smile. Enjoy your practice. And exhaling, gently release. And then we can just gently bring the feet back round. Help the feet come back together to protect those knees. And then we'll come onto all fours. And exhaling, we'll extend the pelvis back into a downward facing dog. And we'll just paddle the feet here to stretch out those legs after sitting in that pose. Move your body whichever way feels good for you. This is your practice. And then inhaling, we're going to look between the hands and step the left foot in between. For beginners, we can leave this back heel up, or if you'd like to challenge yourself a bit more, if you've got a bit more range of flexibility, we can bring that left heel back down to the mat, and we're going to lift up into warrior one. We want a nice 90-degree angle in that front leg. This back leg, either we're at the ball of the feet or the foot is in that 45-degree angle. Hips want to be in line with the front of the mat. See, my foot doesn't quite reach the floor, but my foot is still in that 45-degree angle, but I've just lifted up the heel a little bit so that my hips are square with the front of the mat. And with the arms up by the sides of the ears, shoulders pulled down onto the back, fairly strong, leaning into that front knee. And exhale, we're going to open it up to warrior two. So this foot now comes in line with the short side of the mat, so it's in a 90-degree angle. And this foot just stays as is. And we're extending, reaching through the arms. And gaze at the middle finger. Nice deep breaths. Then inhale, we're going to extend that left leg, keeping the feet as they are, arms as they are. And then exhale, we're going to reach over the left hip and bring the left hand down to the inside of the left leg. Now we can grab a block here for beginners, so that we're keeping that chest nice and open, and we've got a nice straight line in the body. And look up at the top hand. And breathe. Making this right hip is actively pulling backwards, and this left hip is pulling forwards. Nice stretch to open up the legs. And exhale, and we'll bring that hand down, move that block out of the way, and we'll just step it back to standing at the top of the mat. We're going to move into tree pose. So we'll shift the weight over onto the left foot, really press through the toes in the left toes, and then we can either bring the balls of the feet down to the mat and have the heel on the inside of the left ankle, and bring the hands together in prayer. If you want to challenge your balance, a bit more, we can bring that foot to the inside of the left calf. But keep that knee pulling out to the side so that we're opening the right side of the hip. And find a point to focus on somewhere in your room. Just find a spot that we can focus on to really help with our stability. We want the standing leg nice and strong. Really press through those toes. If we can, we will take it a step further and bring the right foot to the inside. Use your hand to guide your foot to the inside of your thigh. Really press that foot into the thigh, still opening to the right. And breathe. Tapping into that smile. Enjoy your practice. And then exhale, we'll gently release that right foot back down. We'll move through a quick little vinyasa so that we can do the same on the right side of the body. So toes together, knees pulling up, quads engaged, tailbone tucked, belly in. Open up the chest. Inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhale, fold it forwards, belly to thighs. Inhale for a half lift. Flat back. Exhaling, stepping it back, moving through the chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. We'll take a few breaths here. We can stretch out those legs after working the left side. Again, move in the body in whichever way feels good for you. And this time, inhale, look between the hands. We'll step the right foot in between. Again, we can leave that back heel up, or we can drop it down into that 45-degree angle, lifting up into warrior one. So we've got a nice 90-degree angle in that front leg. Press down through the toes, belly and ribs pull in, reaching through the arms. They're in line with the ears. Shoulders are on the back. We're not hunching. Breathe, strong pose. I'm just going to switch sides so you can see me. And then exhale, we'll open it up to that warrior two. So this leg stays as is, but this back foot moves so that it's in line with the short side of the mat. Extending through the arms, gazing at the middle finger on the right hand. And breathe. Shoulders are on the back. And the hips are open this time to the long side of the mat. And then inhale, we're going to extend the right leg. Take a breath. Exhale, reach over the right hip and come down into that triangle pose. Oh, we can grab the block if we're using to really help open up that chest and keep the alignment in the body. Breathing deep. This time the left hip's pulling back and the right hip's coming forwards. You can feel a nice stretch in the legs. And exhaling, we'll bring that right arm down and step it back to standing. And we'll move into tree pose. I'll face you again. So this time we shift the weight over into the right leg, pressing down through those toes, really ground the foot down. And then again, we'll do the same. What we did on the left side, we want to do on the right side so that we balance it out. So if you had your feet, if on the left side you had the balls of your feet and your heel on, that's what we do. Hands in prayer. Or if you had the foot on the inner calf, we'll have the foot there. Or using your hands to guide the left foot to the inner right thigh for the full expression. Making sure that knee is coming out to the left side to open up the left hip area. And finding that point to gaze, to focus on, to help us gain some stability. Now, if your balance is worse than a drunk person's, that's absolutely fine. If you keep falling out, bring yourself straight back in and just keep practicing, keep falling out and keep bringing yourself back in, because that will help build strength in your balance. And just be patient with yourself. Laugh at yourself if you keep falling out. This is your practice, it's for you to enjoy. And exhaling, we'll gently release that foot down to the mat. We're going to inhale and move into chair. So we want the toes together, heels together. Inhaling, we'll sweep the hands up. As we sweep the hands up, we're going to bring the pelvis back into chair. Really sink into the hips. Press down through the toes. Pull the belly and the ribs in. And arms in line with the ears. Shoulders are on the back. Really lean into that chair pose, deepen it. Strong legs. And then exhale, we'll fold forwards. Generous bend in the knees, belly to thighs. Inhale for a half lift. And then exhale, we can fold. We'll take the feet hip width apart. We're going to chill here in a forward fold. So we want the feet hip width apart to protect the lower back. We can have a bend in the knees here. We don't want to be locking in the knees. because you'll just overextend and cause some pain and injuries. We'll let the head hang, we'll let the arms hang. You can sway from side to side, or we can hug the elbows and sway side to side, or find stillness in the pose. Just a nice passive stretch. We're not holding in the neck is nice and loosey-goosey. Nice deep breaths. And then exhaling, I'm going to step it back into a downward facing dog. Again, taking a few breaths here, stretch out those legs, take your dog for a walk, paddle the feet, or find stillness. Again, this is your practice, you move your body in whichever way feels good for you. Then exhale, we're going to bring the knees down to the mat, so we're on all fours. Untuck those toes. We want the hips in line with the knees and the wrists in line with the shoulders. We're going to move through some cat-cows. So inhaling from the sacrum, we're going to tip the pelvis down towards the mat so that the butt almost comes up, and drop the belly, opening, lifting up the chest and chin. And then exhaling again from the sacrum, we round the pelvis, rolling up the spine, bringing the chin to the chest. Inhaling, bringing the pelvis down, belly down, lifting the chest and chin. And then exhaling from the sacrum, rounding the spine. You can go at your own pace here. Flow with your breath. Pushing the floor away from you when we're in. Exhaling. One more. Pushing that floor away from you, shoulders are on the back. And then we'll come to neutral. So from here we're going to take the hips back, we'll take them to the side, so that we come back to the seated position. But instead of sitting with our legs crossed, we're going to extend the legs out in front of us. And then we're going to bring the right heel to the outside of the left knee. We can stay here if that's far enough for you. If you feel you can go a little bit further, we're going to take the left foot round to the right hip. We want this left foot next to the knee. We don't want it too far back here. We want that next to the knee. We want to be grounding down through both sit bones. We don't want to be space between the floor. If there is, just tuck a pillow under there or extend that leg back out so that we come back down. So wherever you are from here, we're going to bring the right hand onto the right knee and bring the left hand round to the side. You can either bring the right elbow to the inside of the left knee to help you twist that little bit more. You can kind of hug the knee in, or you can grab that foot and twist to the left. And exhale, come back to center, and then we're going to twist to the right. This time we're going to pull this knee in, and again the This time the left elbow can come to the outside of the right knee and twist to the right. Or we can just hook that knee in, we can extend it and hold that foot. Keeping that chest nice and open. Exhaling, come back to neutral, and we'll extend both the legs back out again, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So this time we take the left foot to the outside of the right knee. If this is as far as you got last time, you stay here again, or if you can take it further, we'll take that right ankle to the left hip and then we'll twist to the right. So again, this elbow can come to the inside of the left knee. We can hold that foot and twist to the right. Exhale, bring it back to center. Then we'll twist to the left. So then the elbow can come to the outside of the left knee this time. Taking the left hand back. Or you can hug that knee in or extend it and hold on to that left foot and look back. Make sure we're not collapsing. Chest is nice and open. And exhale, bringing it back to center. We can swing that leg round and we'll just bring it into a child's pose. We can have the arms extended in front of us, or we can have them down by the sides. You can also have the knees together, or you can open the knees up for a bit of space and bring it down. If your arms are extended, you'll feel more of the stretch in the upper back. If your arms are down by your sides, you'll feel more of the stretch in the lower back. It's a nice gentle stretch. And just breathe. Resting the forehead on the mat. If we can't quite bring ourselves all the way down, we can always prop ourselves up with some pillows underneath the legs. So we're up like this. This is still yoga, this is still child's pose. Just adapt it for your body. And then we'll bring the fingertips onto the mat, onto the shoulders, and gently lift yourself back up to sitting. Again, we'll bring the hips to the side, swing the legs round into an easy seated position to close the class. So you can either come onto the knees or propping yourself up on that pillow. Hands come to the knees or together in the lap, and close the eyes. And bring the awareness inwards to the breath. Again, we'll check in with the sensations of our breath. How does the breath feel in your body? Where is the breath flowing from? Has it changed since the start of this video? We'll take a few deep breaths and create that wave with the breath again, where we fill up the belly, the ribs, and then the chest. Inhaling. Pause at the top. Exhaling. Chest comes down. Then the ribs, and then the belly. Pause at the bottom. Inhaling. Moving through this wave at your own pace. You can maybe add in a couple of exhaling sighs to really soothe the mind. And calm the nervous system. And then we'll let the breath come back to its natural rhythm. We'll take a moment to thank ourselves for taking the time to practice some yoga today, giving our bodies much needed movement medicine. And then I'd like you to think of one thing that you feel grateful for today. And just hold that with you for a few deep breaths. Repeat it a few times. And then again, we'll let that grateful thought go with a nice deep inhale. And an exhaling sigh. Breath comes back to its natural rhythm. And then we can bring the hands together in prayer and bow the head down. And then when you're ready, gently pat the eyelids open and lift the head. Namaste. Thank you so much for watching and joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can always leave me some comments and feedback in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for upcoming videos, and I hope to see you again on the mat soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye.